Anytime you leave the house and the audio levels are like even a little bit tweaked, people lose their minds and don't want to watch. If I'm not doing full-blown news coverage, people lose their minds.
This dude is crying. What's going on, y'all? About to check out this video from MorePegasus about Hasan quitting YouTube live streaming. He ran back to Twitch because apparently his numbers could not stay consistent. I told you guys that was what was going to happen. He's going to get a quick boost because of the whole, I'm canceled. They don't like me on Twitch, which was a lie. That was temporary. And then look, his numbers is going to go back down. I was right. Let's see Hasan crying about it. Shout outs to MorePegasus. Let's take a look. You could go big screen.
Right, so welcome back to the most legendary series on the internet, past episode 250 now, wholly unemployed. Anyways, so remember when Hasan got banned for 3 days and then he moved to YouTube? Well, basically, he had one stream that did very well, and then I accurately predicted that it was only because of the ban hype and the protests going on, and now we fast forward to reality, it didn't work out and the viewership is lower than ever, so he's going back to Twitch. Right, so basically we got this Reddit post. Hasan is going back to single platform streaming today. Just thought I'd inform y'all who aren't in the Discord, Hasan is no longer going to be dual streaming. Yeah, this is the Discord in which he threatens to neck himself when he loses viewers, right? TLDR, he says there are limitations due to DMCA, and this is copyright, and the audience separation makes it a lower concurrent viewership for both Twitch and YouTube, therefore limits the reach on both platforms.
That's stupid as heck. That's dumb. If you got fans on both platforms that's watching it, they're going to watch it. Yes, your numbers will go down for individual websites. YouTube numbers, live streams will go down, and your live stream numbers for Twitch will go down. Yeah, sure. But your overall live stream percentage might be more, right? You might have more viewers combined if you account for all the different sites that you're streaming from. Also, I think that Hasan really is scared to get a strike. You know, YouTube don't play that. YouTube is very harsh when it comes to their judging on who gets strikes and for what. They not playing. You breathe the wrong way, they going to get you. And when you got somebody like Hasan, instead of him trying to go, you know what? Maybe I won't be racist. Maybe I won't slander. Maybe I won't just be disgusting on here and break a bunch of guidelines. That's probably not the best move. Instead, he's going to go, I'm going to go where I'm loved. I'm going to go on Twitch where I'm Dan Clancy's baby. And he treat me good. He treat me special. I could get away with whatever. Yeah, why stream on YouTube where I could get in trouble? Improve everybody's rights. That I'll just come on here and act demonic with my actions. Of course, he's going to go run back to Twitch. Like, that was obvious to me. I predicted this whole thing weeks ago.
Interesting. I thought you tapped into the new normie audience, Hasan. What happened? I thought you were popping off on YouTube. Oh my God, an uncharted audience. Everybody actually loves Hasan. Well, here we are back down to reality again. So anyways, he starts coping on stream. Hasan is no longer dual streaming to YouTube, cites lower reach in DMCA. It's been somewhat of a failure.
I genuinely think dual streaming was a mistake. Audience gets you boosted less on both sides. I agree. Yes, chatter, you are not wrong.
Back to Twitch.
It's been a somewhat of a failure. To be fair though, this is a IRL stream, and it's Saturday, so that's like also the other reason why the numbers are dog shit. Like, let's be real. I mean, our Zoran stream wasn't like that. The Zoran stream was like 20K as well. Wow. When we did it. People only... This is one of the issues with like being there, being the person that's there before they become, you know, a nationally prominent campaign. Anytime you leave the house and the audio levels are like even a little bit tweaked, people lose their minds and don't want to watch. If I'm not doing full-blown news coverage, people lose their minds.
This dude is crying. Yeah, people have whatever reasons for why they don't want to watch. You might be breathing a certain way. They might not like the way that you pause when you're reacting to something. Who cares, nigga? Like, this, why are we even, or why is he even crying about this? This is crazy. Yeah, he's coping. Also my audio. Shut up. You rich. You should have the best audio. You should have no audio problems at all. You should have a team of people that have your audio in check. Why are you crying? Just come on here and do whatever your work is. Don't slander though and lie on people and grift and pander and spread propaganda. Damn, the list of what do you do besides that? And cry. Like, this is all Hasan does. My bad. I just noticed that.
Lines and don't want to watch. If I'm doing IRL, some people don't like that. Some people don't like when I have guests on, even at home.
No, what do you mean the numbers are lower? What do you mean it's been somewhat of a failure? No, Hasan, you were the chosen one. You were going to usher in communism for the entire world. He was going to beat the evil dark wizard, the evil rat wizard, Asmongold.
That picture was hilarious. And why Hasan always look like he wearing a jacket underneath his shirt?
Don't give up, man. Never give up. Please stay on YouTube and get your channel permabanned. Well, if I'm going to be honest, this is a real growth for Hasan. Because at least this time, he's not threatening to end his life in Discord, right? So this is progress, I'd say. I dislike Hasan, but YouTube is really rough with what you can play without getting in trouble. Also feels like it is harder to get seen on YouTube. Okay, that is just complete bullshit. It is obviously better to stream on YouTube because you have an access to a much bigger audience. The only reason
YouTube has better discovery. Twitch discovery is trash, bro. They go by the Kingmaker system, which means that you got to be like a bigger streamer already to really get put on the front page for real, or do odd hours, which still is like slow motion. It's really not easy to grow on Twitch. It's not easy. YouTube will promote the heck out of you if you package it the right way.
Hasan doesn't want to is because he wants to stay in his fucking echo chamber, right? And he can't deal with any differing opinions. Also, when you say, it's real rough with what you can play, if you're referring to music, I mean, yeah, you can't just, steal full TV shows like you do on fucking Twitch or whatever, or get away with criminal activity. And I guess you can't get away with terrorist propaganda either. So, boo-hoo Hasan. That's because it's harder to view bot on YouTube. His vastly lower view count on YouTube will look like a red flag compared to how many viewers he has on Twitch. I don't know if there's any merit to this or whatever, but it's just another theory people are saying. Considering he accuses everybody else of viewbotting, so... Oh, really? Just including this really random copy pasta. YouTube Live does have stronger, more aggressive detection for artificial inflation compared to Twitch in many cases. There's machine learning for fraud detection. Listen, I don't know if he's running away for that reason, but it could be a variety of things. And we got the classic ratio with Aspen at 50k, Hasan at 20k, and we'll see later he is very pissed about this as well. I remember when he thought he'd have more freedom on YouTube. Yeah, that's the delusional beliefs.
Yeah, nah. You gotta be extremely careful on YouTube, bro. They don't get you a strike for nothing. I'm joking. I'm being hyperbolic, but I've gotten in trouble on YouTube for, I think, one thing in particular. I was talking about celebrity YouTuber boxing matches, and then I put myself into the mix, and they thought I was threatening somebody. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm talking about a sport. That's like saying that you could beat somebody in basketball on YouTube. Like, nah, you getting in trouble. You're getting a strike. Stop threatening YouTubers. I'm like, what? That is not what I was doing. So now I'm like very careful. I don't even curse like that anymore. I try to like calm that down. And not just for like me not getting in trouble, but also I want my show to be able to be seen by everybody. You know what I mean? A lot of people be telling me in the comment sections they watch my show on like their TV. That's fire. That's fire. So let's keep it clean. Keep it family friendly. We ain't got to wild out with the cursing. That's what the live stream's for. I'm a little serious, but I'm joking.
of a terrorist glazer, just not rooted in reality. Can't be a raging psychopath when the platform doesn't give you special treatment. He wants whatever platform he's on to infinitely suck up to him and realize YouTube won't do that. Wait, you're telling me the YouTube CEO isn't pulling a Dan Clancy and giving the Glock 9000? Shocking, even Kaya is shocked. Anyways, so then he keeps coping hard and says that he doesn't want to split his viewership. Hasan explains his reasoning for stopping dual streaming on YouTube. It's not about maxing out viewership. Oh, okay. It's not about the viewership.
I don't want to separate the audiences. Okay. I don't want to separate the audiences because on Twitch, if you have 15K and on YouTube, you have 10K, that doesn't mean you have 25K total viewership. Okay. Because it splits the audiences. On Twitch, if you have 30K, you have 30K. You have a higher likelihood of reaching the top of the directory. You have the higher likelihood of reaching the top of the directory. If I just cared about money, I would continue restreaming on YouTube. YouTube generates a tremendous amount of revenue. Okay. As far as reach goes, this is still my primary platform. And the reason why I'm going to continue doing it is because this is my primary platform until
You know what we have like even better reach? Good videos. I know, I'm crazy, right? I know. A good video would probably have better reach. Maybe I'm an oddball. I think that could probably go further. And then what the heck you doing?
I get banned. At which point, now I know I have a plan. I can go back to YouTube and become a full-time YouTube live streamer. Okay. Instead of saying, you view count Andy'd yourself, or this is a view count Andy situation.
Yes, of course. It's totally not about Hasan's massive ego, guys. It's totally not about the fact that he can't bring himself to be looking at a lower view count, right? If it's split across platforms. He basically just wants to be looking at a bigger number. This is all that is. His ego is absolutely damaged. This is like psychic damage from seeing Asmon get 3 times the viewers as him, as opposed to just a few more viewers than him as usual. And dude, I just love this humbling because he got one good stream on YouTube. His first stream was like very popular and he was absolutely gloating. He's like, oh my God, there's so many Hasanabi heads. My motion is so big. And I especially pointed out that it was only because there was so much hype around his ban and there was this protest going on. It was basically like the perfect timing to get a big stream, right? And it probably would have happened on Twitch as well, maybe just a little bit lesser, but I love it. Time is the best equalizer. The days pass and he's back down to reality and it's worse than before, bro. Worse than before his big stream. Now, let me just explain why what he said actually makes no sense at all. He said that, it splits the audience. Basically, he's saying that, okay, I had 30K viewers on Twitch, and because of streaming to YouTube, 15K are going to YouTube and 10K are staying on Twitch, and the total is somehow lesser because 5 people are evaporating into the ether, apparently, or something like that, right? Damn. Now, this obviously makes no sense because literally nobody is going from YouTube to Twitch, for example, right? So, for example, for me, if my favorite streamer is on Twitch, I'm just not watching them. You can be like a guy I watch every single day for the last 8 years. And if you go to Twitch, I'm sorry, you're done. I'm never watching you again. All right. Because I can't be asked.
Listen, I know from experience of me streaming on YouTube, not that my numbers are super crazy, but then me transitioning and being like, let me stream on Twitch. And that being a low percentage, those are people that really, really rock with me. That will be like, I'll download Twitch just to see you. I'm over there. It will be a small percentage, like 1/4 of the audience I have on live streaming on YouTube will cross over to Twitch or whatever platform I'm on. If I'm streaming on all platforms at the same time, they will literally go back to YouTube. They're like, oh, I got a notification on Twitch. Let me go back to YouTube. I know you're streaming on YouTube right now too. Like that's the main thing I'm on, but I downloaded Twitch to watch you. Appreciate you guys, right? Shout out to the Fang Gang and everyone who just supports me in general. But yeah, that is true. It's not really a huge crossover. Not like that.
to leave the YouTube website and much less support fucking Twitch and go through their goddamn ads and their horrible playback and unable to rewind and all this dog shit, right? And support that just horrible platform, right? So what he doesn't understand is that YouTube loyal viewers make up the majority, right? It's mostly because people are lazy and just don't want to leave the website, and that's totally valid, right? And also coupled with Twitch being dog shit. So yeah, this concept of like split viewers makes no sense because nobody's actually, migrating from platform to platform. It's like, it's just tapping into a new audience, right? Now, he also said that he's doing this to reach the top of the directory, right? Now, if you don't know what that means, is basically he wants to be displayed on Twitch in the like sort of top streamers so that he's sort of recommended to more people. Now, the reason this is completely brain dead and doesn't matter at all is because who the fuck cares about the top of the directory of Twitch, bro? It's not gonna like pull you a significant amount of extra viewers just being displayed at the top there. It's mostly like a negligible amount. Now,
100%. That's what I said. That's the same thing I said. Like, Hasan is crazy, bro. There's a lot of people that's chasing that Hasan path. You're crazy too.
It might artificially inflate your viewership or whatever by a bunch of people, stumbling across it, or, Twitch boosting your viewership or something like that. But I don't know how he hasn't realized this, but nobody is actually surfing Twitch to find new people. They're basically only there to watch people they already know from other platforms, right? If somebody has a following on YouTube and they start streaming on Twitch, okay, some people might actually go over, and even that's like a fraction of the amount. They'd much rather you just stream on YouTube. So then he tries to gaslight his audience, saying that he's not streaming on YouTube because he's trying to convert more normies to his politics. Now, obviously, this makes no sense because there's way more normies on YouTube compared to fucking Twitch, bro.
You view count Andy'd yourself, or this is a view count Andy situation. Understand that the view count in this circumstance is quite literally market dominance of ideology. Okay? Market dominance for an idea, because it doesn't just mean the bigger number. What means for a higher viewership is a higher likelihood of bringing in fucking normies, not just creating a tiny little community of gate-kept esoteric ideology that is the most moral and the most perfect, but instead bringing in a steady stream of different people with different opinions that are just going, oh, this is the top of the directory, let me click on it. Because there are, when I say normie, I mean people who aren't socialists, man, okay? People who aren't f***ing socialists who are still clicking on just chatting broadcasts, okay?
That would be on YouTube. That was where most people would be. That's like saying, I don't want my stuff to be advertised on Google. I want it to be advertised on Ask Jeeves. There's people that don't even remember what that is. There's people that's watching this that's like, what's that? Never heard of it. Exactly. People heard of Twitch, yeah. But not as much as people has heard of like YouTube.
People who are not socialists, but are on the fucking platform that are like, let me click to see what's going on in the world. Let me see what's happening in the universe. Let me see, let me go and watch fucking Asmongold. Okay? You don't have to agree with me on this. Once again, that's why I'm sitting in the driver's seat and you're in the back seat. Okay?
Yo.
So stop backseat driving.
Oh my God. Of course, this is about Asmongold, right? Again, so
that boy, yeah, he's insane. And yeah, how did this get to Asmongold? This dude could be talking about breakfast, right? Yeah, egg, sausage, bacon, Asmongold. Like, excuse me? The chef gonna look at him like, what? How did Asmongold come up?
He wants to be displayed on the top directory of Twitch because he's afraid that now that his viewership has dropped and he's no longer displayed there, people will just be clicking on Asmongold, right? It's an irrational fear because the reason Asmongold is popular is not really his Twitch stream. It's his enormous YouTube channel and his YouTube Shorts channel and stuff like that. Yeah. Kid you not, this has got to be one of the most pathetic reasons I've ever seen for someone to stop multi-streaming, okay? I mean, it really just seems like he doesn't want to exit his echo chamber. I mean, he claims that he wants to convert normies, but obviously YouTube would have more normies, people who are, you know, apolitical or maybe disagree with their politics, and you can educate them. You can totally convert them using your facts and logic, right? Facts are facts, says Hasan. Facts are facts.
Facts are still
Lying.
facts.
And the fact of the matter is YouTube has
don't
an
got no
infinite
facts.
amount of people to access, right? It's literally a no-brainer. But if he truly cared about converting normies and reaching the most people, he would go to YouTube. But it seems like, based on this decision, it seems like he just wants to deal with people who already align with what he thinks. If he thinks there's more normies on Twitch, I mean,
Yeah.
he's completely mistaken or whatever. And by the way,
And he wants that Dan Clancy protection. You want that Dan Clancy love. You want him to be able to run up in. My bad. Let me stop it there before I start going. I was about to go in. There was about to be a need to play the nasty song. In fact, we should have been playing that actually.
Yeah, yeah.
You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name. You
It's nasty work. It's definitely nasty work for sure.
if you're curious as to what normies means, he means basically everybody outside his audience, right? I feel like he thinks that the average Twitch viewer may not watch Hasan, but they are more primed, right? They're more primed to, maybe agree with Hasan or something. So they're like in that sort of radical pipeline of like lefty politics to the point where, okay, maybe they might be easier to convert. And he just doesn't want to deal with YouTube because on YouTube, he'll get bodied. He'll get bodied in every single capacity. He can't even compete with me on YouTube, which is just tragic, right?
Oh,
Can't even compete
snap.
with the fucking slop tuber. And that's the thing I've realized is that these big bad streamers seem to lose all of their power the second they exit their echo chamber. It's kind of like Mizkif trying to go after me and he thinking like, oh yeah, I'm the man. I was one of the biggest streamers. And then he tries to come after me and gets fucking bodied, right? It's just tragic. It's like the high school bullies are finally entering into the real world. Biggest Hasanabi
That's
L, we
funny.
know the real reason. And we got Austin Show and Hasan and his like friend seems to have more viewership than him. Market share of ideology is one of the most bullshit things I've ever heard in a long time.
Was that the guy that was flirting with his girlfriend in front of his face and looking Hasan right in the eye? They was like eye to eye with him. He was looking, grilling him. Right in his eyes, he flirted with his girl.
Well, it's just another classic on the Hasan stream. This is some of the most pathetic, dishonest cope he's ever spewed, and that's saying something. Lol, using the top of the directory as an excuse is stupid. There are no normies on Twitch. They're on
That's
YouTube.
funny.
He's clearly obsessed with his view count to the point where he won't grow somewhere else to keep the same people in. Even Valkyrie said, of course, YouTube is better. Right, here we have his own fans very disappointed, so back to waiting for someone else to post the streams. It splits the audience. My ass is not coming over to Twitch. Have fun over there. 100% never moving to Twitch. Okay, this is the one thing I can agree on. The Hasan fans who are only on YouTube at least, At least they also hate Twitch. Hasan is massively overthinking this, not seeing the wood through the trees. His streams on YouTube may have steadily risen if he was consistent for a month instead of just over a week. He's moved too fast. Well, I feel like there's a hidden fear here. There's a hidden fear that he's going to get permaban, right? And there is no DJ Dan Clancy to save him. There is no 7 violation rule on YouTube. It's a 3-strike system. And also when you get striked, you can't upload for a week and stuff, which will throw Hasan into a schizo panic, obviously. And yeah, if he loses his linked YouTube channel as well, it's going to be very bad for him, right? So he doesn't want to risk that. He basically cannot tone down the rhetoric. He cannot trust himself to tone it down enough to the point where he's not going to be at risk. Guys, I was having a horrible day. My favorite esports team just lost and got eliminated. Rip Las Ratones, the dream is dead. And I was just taking a massive L, but after seeing Hasan's failure here, bro, it's like the sun is shining extra bright. I feel like I
that's
see a
crazy.
rainbow in the sky. Suddenly, I feel great. It fuels me.
Wow.
Lovely.
That's crazy. Yeah, Hasan is wilding out. I do think that he's lying. He's not telling the genuine reason why he wants to run back to Twitch. But good riddance, huh? We don't need you on YouTube. We don't need you on no platform. Honestly, not necessarily. If people want to watch you, whatever. I don't think you need it. People ain't gonna be begging, no, please. Stay on YouTube. Bye. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. hit the like button, all of that good stuff, and go and watch a previous video. And if you want to see live streams and get access to that, full access, non-edited content, go and check out my memberships.